This, guys, is probably the Dell XPS that everyone has been waiting for. I mean, it's ridiculously compact, it's just 1 kg in weight, super sleek, rock solid build quality, bezels that are crazy thin. Honestly, it looks nothing like a laptop that costs under 80,000 rupees. In fact, if you look at all the previous Dell XPS laptops and their prices, this one is an unbelievable exception. So, what is the catch? I mean, did Dell actually make the XPS more affordable, or is it a compromise? Well, thankfully, I've used it before you can spend your money on it, and I think I finally have an answer, and a lot of it depends on how you're going to use this laptop. So, let me explain. Let's start with the build. Thankfully, Dell hasn't cut any corners here. Almost. Genuinely, it feels very premium, okay? Quite frankly, more premium than almost any other Windows laptop around this price. It's sleek, very minimal, and at just about 1 kg. It's the thinnest and the lightest XPS that Dell has ever made. I mean, even this small bag, it feels too big to store this laptop. It's actually smaller than the MacBook Air or even the cheaper MacBook Neo. Even the weight distribution, bang on. So even when I'm holding it in just one hand while explaining something to, let's say, a colleague, it just feels incredibly well balanced. The build quality, equally impressive. Barely any flex on the keyboard deck. The lid feels rock solid, no matter what angle I leave it at. I mean, this is so much better than most budget laptops that tend to compromise on build quality. Just one thing. It's a very light laptop, so it may move around sometimes when you try and open it with just one hand. It's just a physics thing. But do note that any device with a small form factor will have less area to rest your palm and type comfortably for long hours. But if you want a small laptop, Dell has delivered with this. Also, I love typing on this. Thankfully, I've got small hands, so I didn't find it too cumbersome to type super quickly on this. It's got decent key travel for the size, and this is what it sounds like. It's also a great laptop if you're trying to type in, let's say, a classroom or a conference room, or even in a dark room where people are trying to sleep, because it's actually not as clicky. It's got a nice subtle sound and it's backlit, so you can totally type on it comfortably without hunting for keys in a dark room when people are trying to sleep around you. The trackpad is also very smooth. Sure, it's not giant given the compact form factor, but I really like how my fingers just glide on that glass top. Clicks are also very easy, of course not haptic, but it's just like any other Windows laptop, slightly better. Now, if I had to crib about one thing, that would be the ports. So, Dell went overboard, making it so thin that it's only got 2 USB Type-C ports, and that's all. No HDMI port, no Type-A USB port, not even a headphone jack. The good thing is that both of these ports are high-speed ports for crazy fast data transfers. And yeah, you can attach a dongle, to increase the number of ports. If you want an HDMI port, you want a LAN port, you want more USB ports, so you can do that. And these ports can also be used to charge the laptop. Also, this is how far the screen bends, and so, if you're in bed, you might have to slouch a bit to have the screen in a comfortable line of sight. But, apart from that, there's really nothing that I can complain about. This feels exactly what a Dell XPS should feel like, and thankfully, I can say the same about the display. Because, to be honest, this is probably one of the best displays that you can get at this 80,000 rupees price range. First of all, I don't think that I have seen a laptop with such less bezels in this price segment. Whether I'm editing a document, watching YouTube, or just, browsing the web, the display, it just feels incredibly immersive. It almost feels like you're looking at just the screen, not the laptop around it. But even the display panel is quite crazy for this price. It's a 13.4-inch IPS panel and it's sharp. It's 120 Hz super smooth. It's decently bright with a matte finish that kind of cuts reflections also. And guys, it's a touchscreen. Plus, that matte finish, it makes it more fun to use the touch display without leaving those, gross, oily fingerprints. Honestly, it's pretty difficult to find all these 4 things at this price. Now, I agree. This isn't an OLED, which might feel like a trade-off, but I didn't find it lacking anywhere as such. It's a really good display with a very decent color accuracy, and honestly, you'd have a hard time finding anything very wrong with it. I mean, if you're using it for office or college purposes, then personally also, I would prefer a smoother 120Hz touch-friendly display over a 60Hz non-touch, more color-accurate OLED display. Because color accuracy really doesn't matter if you're not doing something, creative professionally, like photo editing or video editing. But for office and school purposes, this is perfect. By the way, the refresh rate, it's dynamic. So, it can automatically drop when you're watching, let's say, a movie or a YouTube video, and it jumps up by itself when you need it. And that makes it very battery efficient, which is probably one of the big reasons why this laptop delivers such great battery life. And we'll talk about that in a minute, so just hang tight. But one thing that I was really worried about is that this is a small laptop. So how good are the speakers? So it's got these bottom firing speakers right here, as you can see, and here's how they sound. Overall, I think the speaker quality is decent. In fact, it was a little louder than I really expected it to be, of course, with very less bass. It's a small form factor, right? The chassis is really small, so very less room for acoustics to really deliver that kind of bass. Though I would recommend that, for any Zoom, Google Meet, or Slack calls, just have a pair of wireless earphones connected to this for best experience. Now, I also tested the webcam and the mic quality, so watch that. Alright guys, so this is a video sample shot using the webcam on this laptop. It can shoot full HD videos, and this is probably the best quality you can get because I'm really next to a very nice bright source of light. And this is what the audio sounds like. It's straight into the the microphones of this laptop, and yeah, hopefully it all looks decent. Now let's talk about battery life, and this is easily leave your charger at home for a day kind of a laptop. Just charge it to 100%, unplug, and head out for the day. And now you can do whatever it is that you do in office with, a dozen of Chrome tabs open, team calls, working on that PowerPoint with some music in the background. You catch a breather during lunch. And then even if you get back home and you want to work a bit, and then you want to watch some Netflix on the laptop before you finally end your day, this won't give up on you. Now, it does come with its own charger, and I think you should take a look. So this is a 65-watt charger, right? It's got two cables now. One that goes into the socket, the power socket, and then a Type-C cable that goes from the charger into the Type-C port of the laptop. Now, obviously, it's going to charge itself faster with the included charger, but you don't have to carry all this. You can use any 65-watt PD charger that you have, and this will top itself up. But the reason this envelope-sized laptop gives you such great all-day battery life is actually because of the processor. So, it comes with the latest Series 3 Intel Core 5 processor and 8 gigs of RAM, and I'll get to RAM in a minute. But this processor has 6 cores, 4 efficiency cores and 2 high-performance cores. Now, it's not very high on performance, but it is what gets you that incredible battery efficiency. See, you'll find more laptops in and around this price that offer more performance and speed, but of course, they may not look as good as the Dell XPS, or they may not have the display as good either. But honestly, and in all probability, the kind of work that you want to get done on a laptop this size, you actually may not have many complaints. Let's pick up 4 very popular use cases, Office work, creative work, entertainment, and finally, gaming. So let's pick up the first one, office work. Whether it's juggling, 10 to 15 Chrome tabs, working on Excel sheets, making PowerPoint presentations, replying to emails, or hopping between multiple Zoom calls throughout the day, everything felt decently responsive. The only limitation that you might feel is that 8 gigs of RAM, which might require you to shut down an application before you start another one. Next is creative work, and to my surprise, I could very easily edit photos in Lightroom, absolutely no problem. Even light Photoshop work, if you don't work with too many layers or very heavy images, you'll be fine. In fact, Premiere Pro also worked just fine with 1080p videos shot using the iPhone 17. Timeline scrubbing was easy. I could apply basic effects and transitions and work through, a couple of layers, apply color correction, and then export the file quite easily. Then comes entertainment, and that is kind of a given. I've already demonstrated the speakers, but Given the display, the brightness, and that anti-reflective matte finish, watching stuff on this is easy breezy. And lastly, gaming. And honestly, this is not meant for that. It's got an integrated Intel graphics, and it's got a chip that's geared towards productivity and efficiency. So I would advise against any kind of hope when it comes to gaming on this one. Now, as I use this more, just a couple of things really stood out. You do get studio effects to apply to your webcam right from here. You can blur the background, enable auto framing so the camera follows you as you move around. You can even use eye contact, which actually makes it look like you're speaking to the camera or to the audience, even if you're reading something off the screen. Second, it's got facial recognition, so it unlocks quickly as soon as it detects my face, which I think is super convenient. And third, it's got Wi-Fi 7 support, and I do have a Wi-Fi 7 router, so I enjoy like max speed, be it wirelessly transferring files within Office, or of course, I enjoy internet speeds also that are faster, and my laptop gets a little more priority over others as well. Finally, let's talk about pricing, okay? So in India, you get two variants of the XPS 13, okay? Both have base storage as 512 gigs, but one has a base RAM of 8 gigs, and the other one, which is a higher variant, has 16 gigs of RAM. And currently with some bank offers, you can get the XPS 13 at a starting price of about 75,000 rupees. There's one good thing though. The base storage is 512 gigs on the XPS 13. If you look at the MacBook Neo, nearly the same price, but the base storage is 256 gigs. So A, you get double the storage, and B, you can upgrade this SSD. You can take the 512 gigs M2 SSD out, you can swap it for a 1 TB storage, and that will just have higher capacity if you want it. All in all, guys, if you've been aiming to get a Dell XPS in your hand and always thought it was too pricey and overpowered for you, but you love the design, the style, and its signature, well, now is the time to get it. It's not a high power machine, but more of a high efficiency productivity laptop, one that you probably would never get tired of carrying with you, even if it is in your hands all day. And sure, you will get more laptops in and around this price with more performance and speed, but they too will have some compromise, whether it's in build or design or display. If you're a Windows user and you want an easy to grab compact laptop with you that gets your office or college work done, and you're not looking for sudden need of high performance in the near future, then this is as good a Windows laptop that can be around 80,000 rupee price mark. But yeah, that's it guys about the Dell XPS 13 2026. If you guys still have any questions, thoughts or comments, please let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely try to help you guys out. And if you did enjoy watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel guys, hit that bell notification icon, and mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.